My life is a struggle sometimes. I mean, we all know life is hard, but we just do our best to try to get by. We always be having bad days, sometimes good days, sometimes just be mixed up all together. But what I'm going through, it's not really hard, but sometimes, I just sometimes make it hard sometimes. Like, the only thing I just want to do, have a decent job, have good friends, and just make sure I stay out of trouble. But sometimes it's so hard to keep all that, especially when it comes down to friends. You gotta make sure they don't play you. You gotta make sure they're not being fake. Like, that happened to me all the time. I feel mad, I get really upset, and when I can't do anything about it, I just start crying.
Martez,
So, yeah.
I want to ask you a question. This Herb Smelly. How old are you, man?
I'm 23.
You 23?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So go ahead, finish telling us, sharing with us.
Okay. So, like, I don't want to have no more friends. I don't want to keep going through that struggle. I can just keep focused on myself. I get things done real quick like that. But sometimes, instead of me trying to find the friends be finding me because they think that I'm laid back, I'm a cool guy, I can be funny. You know, I can just make everybody laugh about the things I do. But when it comes down about relationships, that will be the big issue. Like, I used to be with this girl for almost like a year. Things was going good until her friends got in our business, saying that I'm doing this, saying that I'm doing. Like, she was just messing around with the wrong crowd of friends to help her, and saying that I'm not like that. I'm looking for a girl that likes to do the same thing that I like to do. They like to keep a decent job. They like to stay out of trouble. I don't go around and mess around with people's lives. I don't go around and start nothing. All I just want is a soulmate. That's all I want. Nothing else. But it looks like I can't really get that all the time because it's always drama. It's always blaming me.
You said something that caught my attention when you said all you want to do is be around somebody that had these characteristics like you, or that you felt that, you know, was suitable for you, man. So, you know, it's a saying, can two walk together except they be agreed? So if you walk in a certain way and somebody else walk in a certain way, then it can be confusion. So, you know, and that's a lot of things that we all face with, you know, when we're trying to get things done and we're trying to be a certain way or whatever else, and it's key who we surround ourselves with and who we interact with. And just like the men here today, we all have a purpose, we all have a cause, but we all have the same objective, and that's something positive that we want to see come together by us coming together. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I got out of what you're saying right now. Is you know, it's nothing wrong with wanting to be with somebody, man, and wanting to be happy. You know, if you're dating, in a relationship or marriage or whatever else, man, because that is a part of life. That's something that we, you know, most people want to do is be involved with somebody that can help them to be better at whatever it is that they want to do. You know, so yeah, that has a lot to do with you, man, who you surround yourself with and everything like that. So I appreciate you sharing that with us and giving us that real talk, Martez.
Thank you. No problem.
And my name is Minister Rick Martin. And I just wanted to interject a little bit just to piggyback on what he was just saying. You have to be equally yoked. It's if you're dealing with people that don't have the same interests as you have, and they got different lifestyles, then you setting yourself up for failure if you don't watch who you deal with. So you set yourself up for success. You look for like-minded people, and you know, things with a common thread, okay? Because if you don't, then there's going to be a battle there, when we're going to always have some battles regardless. But the closer we are to, you know, walking together, like the gentleman said, you know, if you got God in your life, first of all, and that person is with you, you know, they have God in their lives, then that'll give you a common bond. And then it'll help, because a lot of times we want our way, when if we got God in the midst, then we could find that happy medium where it's His way. Okay? Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, it's a, you know, you got, and you're a young man, so you don't be in a rush for things. You know, you gotta live your life. I understand, but you want to set yourself up. You want to, you know, make sure you got your school in order. You know, whatever you're doing, your training on your job. You know, make sure that you where you need to be. And trust me, you know, some things will come to you, but we gotta not always just let everything that come at us come into our life. Everything that come towards you, it ain't meant for it's not meant for it to be in your life necessarily. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, now this is the producer. I just like to interject. You know, you never know how God has a program to go, because we're supposed to have introduction. But I like the way Martez was ready. In other words, this program is needed. That's what it's saying. Because as soon as he got on the phone, he started talking about the issues that he's going through in life, and he needs to talk to somebody about it. But I'm going to ask Mr. Herb Smelly, could he introduce the show? And could you introduce each person? Hang on, Martez, because we're going to come back around again, okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes. This is London's Mega Men 100, and this is a group that as men, we're coming together to talk about different issues and things of life, and how we can inspire each other, and how we can inspire somebody else. Excuse me. So we're going to be talking today to some of the men that's here, and we have somebody on the phone line. We're going to be talking about different issues, and you know, they're going to introduce themselves, and we're going to share a little bit about, you know, how we feel about different things and different issues. So we're going to start off with this gentleman right here. He's going to introduce himself and tell you why does he want to be involved in this, and what does he want to see come from being a part of Mega Men 100 Club.
Sure. My name's Richard Ford, or Rick Ford. I've worked with London ADI Entertainment for many years. I could definitely identify with Martez's story, especially being around the wrong kind of crowd, how this wrong kind of crowd can drag you sideways or lead you to destruction. And myself, when I was in college and working a day job, I found myself being entangled with this particular circle. It's just that I didn't know that they were bad until I was onto something good, or, you know, for example, there was a girl that I was potentially interested in, and they got jealous, and so those were learned experiences, and now I'm just like Martez. I'm very aware of my surroundings now, like what kind of friends do I have, and how do they feel if I do this, or how do they feel if I do that, and are they the right kind of friends? So I always keep that in the back of my mind.
Thank you, man, for sharing that with us. And I would just like to share a little bit about myself. My name is Herb Smelly again, and I'm of G Love Inspirations, which stands for God's Love. And I'm from the city of Detroit, Michigan, the west side of Detroit. And the reason why I want to be a part of Mega Men 100 group is because when I talked to Londen, who's the producer of this, you know, she was telling me how she, you know, what she wanted to do And so it was something that I wanted to be a part of because I want to inspire people. Because God inspired me. And as Martez was sharing about, and see, I like real stuff. He came in talking the truth and telling what was going on in his life. He didn't try to make it like, you know, all this super spiritual stuff. No, we got real issues in life. God is real, but it's real stuff out here in the world, and we got to be real. You know, we can't be, you know, acting like other people want us to act and saying what other people want us to say and being how other people want us to be, because God created all of us. He gave us all personalities, and he gave us all gifts and talents to use. And so every man here has a talent. Every man has a talent. Every man has a gift. I met this man right here, powerful man. You know, he rap, and you know he loved God, and I love his music. We're gonna talk with him in just a moment. But I like, you know, how he approached things and how he presents himself. And some of these men that's sitting here with us today too, we're gonna hear about their stories. But I like real stuff. You know, I don't like when people try to be certain ways, you know, to please people. You know, in the Bible it talks about man pleasers. You know, we don't want to try to please a man. We want to please God. And God accepts us all. You know, as long as we doing things according to his will. He doesn't care if you wear your hat backwards, your one shoe one color, whatever. That means nothing to God. The key thing is God being who he is, which is true and holy and loving. So we're going to let this man right here introduce himself. Why are you interested? You can introduce yourself and then tell us why you're interested in Mega Men's 100 Club.
All right, my name is Clinton Martin. I like to thank God who's the head of my life. And I want to be in this program because of what God said. We're supposed to work together and hold each other up in all things that we do. And that's what he wants to do. So I'm going to stand by us, you know, in God's way, not in my way. Okay, and I love everyone that's here because he brought me here for a reason. So, and I think every man is here for a reason. Somebody got to do something about something that needs to be done, and this is what we should do.
Amen. Amen, amen. Thank you so much. And we're going to let this man introduce himself. Powerful man. I just met him today, and I really thank God for his zeal and his compassion that he has. Let us know a little bit about you, man, and tell us why you're interested in Mega Men 100 Club.
Thank you. My name is Richard Martin, and you know I was born and raised in Detroit, and I came from a rough side, lived a rough life. I've been through a bunch of different situations, and I'm thankful to be able to take that what I went through and try to use it to help somebody else. I'm not ashamed of nothing I've been through. And I want to take that to help somebody else. And that's my purpose of being here, because we've been misled, misinformed. I mean, and just a little thing is like the prison, the incarceration numbers has went down over the last 6 years. But we don't know that. And it's because of the black man is not going to jail as much. You know, it's just different things that we got to get out here. We got to get the information and just be available. I just want to help people. And just like Mr. Brother Smelly said, God helped him. God was there for me. That's the only way I got out of my situation. I couldn't have did it, y'all. But you know, now, you know, other brothers like him, my brother, these brothers, we here for a reason. And I'm just thankful to see this. And I'm just glad to be a part of it. And I thank you, Miss Washington, because you saw me on the broadcast, and you said that what I was speaking that people should hear. And I thank you for giving me this opportunity, because I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I wanted to do it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, man. And again, real talk, real situations. This next gentleman, as I said, I met him. I'm going to introduce him as his rap name. His name he go by Sincere. But I'm going to let you, Sincere, introduce your name and tell the people about why you're interested in Mega Men 100 and everything.
My name is Damon Barnes. I go by the name Sincere. Well, starting by saying when I got the opportunity to call Miss Londen, well, I went through somebody else, and I just called. I was up writing one night, and I was just trying to give myself an opportunity. So I just called radio stations around the city. I was just calling around. And I so happened to just get in touch with somebody from, you got Ms. Londen's new radio station. And she was like, you know what, come on in. You know, so I called, and she told me the day I can come in, so I went in just with a couple of my CDs, and I fell into the hands of Ms. Londen. She just so happened to just be getting off and coming out the door. She said, I'll listen to you. And so when she heard me, she was like, you know what, I've been looking for somebody like you. And you know, I mean, I was born in Detroit, the North End. You know, I tried to do everything under the sun. I didn't have a father. And when I heard about the making men thing, I just heard about, you know, I just thought about, you know, just productive men, you know, as father figures still, you know, older than me to just look up to, you know, instead of just falling in the hands of whatever I could have been a couple years ago, you know. I mean, I tried to do everything under the sun, but I just wanted to be a leader, you know, and show younger people like me that it's okay to love God and it's okay to live a productive lifestyle, you know. So, and she just so happened to say, you know what, I need somebody like you. Come on in. And that's what happened. So I'm here today. I'm thankful.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good, man. And that's powerful, man. And that's what we need. We need God's love. We need to exemplify God's love. And Jesus said, they'll know you're my disciples by your day. We're embracing on each other and we're displaying God's love. So
they show us one side. They don't show us the good side. They won't show us the positive side in the black man. Well, you know, and so if you study looking at these images over and over, and science shows this. If you've shown something 100 times, it could be a lie, and you're hearing the truth a couple of times. When something happens, you will react on the lie because of the brain, the way the brain functions. Mm-hmm. That's what it remembers that, and so it acts on that. And see, so that's why this show is going to be good for us, because we need to see positive messages, positive men. I mean, we've been through some things, but we've come out of the things.
And that's what it's about.
And people need to know that you can be on drugs, but and get up out of that.
Mm-hmm.
See, a lot of times they're showing us this where you can't, you stuck, you messed up, and then you look at, like, when we have epidemics, certain people go to jail. Other people, they go to rehab, you know, get help, you know, different things like that. So we need positive.
Yeah, then that's real good, man, and that's one of the topics today. Okay. About the positive side of men. Like, what we're gonna be discussing is there a positive side? Like you just said, it is a positive side. And in our culture, you know, black men, you know, this is not about race or anything like that, but in the culture of black men, and even in your culture, everybody has different things that they experience, and we all can relate. But one of the things with the black man is a negative stigma on a lot of black men. I was walking, coming out of a gas station, and I had on my work jumper. And this older lady and her husband had saw me, and they saw me, man, and they said, wow, it's so good to see a man. Do you work? And I said, yeah. They said, it's so good to see a young man working, and it's a lot of people saying ain't no good men out here and this, that, and that. And they begin to talk to me about me working, because I had on a work jumpsuit. And they was happy to see that I was working, you know. So I was like, wow. You know, it really mesmerized me, because I was like, wow, like they was really excited because they was talking to me about working and stuff. So people get encouraged, because as you said, if you see something repetitiously for a long time, it becomes a part of you.
Right.
It's like a saying. If you want to learn something, it takes about 3 weeks, 21 days for you to get it, whether it's negative or positive. That's like a proven factual thing. Like, if you want to learn something, you sit down and repetitiously go over it. In about 3 weeks, you gonna have it. It's gonna be in you, ingrained into you. Yeah. But if you like I read something in the book before. If you watch TV for 2 hours, and then you read your Bible for 2 minutes, and you saying I ain't getting it, well, It's obvious why you ain't getting it.
That's right.
Because you're not putting the time in. You're not giving God the time to change you. You thinking you gonna say, God help me, and I need you right now, and that's it, and then boom, you gonna walk and be like everything done. No, that's not how it works. It's things embedded in us. It's things ingrained in us. You know, roots that's in us that has to be torn up and torn down. It's a replacement, a removal, and a replacement. And anything in life, there's a removal and a replacement. If you wanna, the Bible talks about the wineskins, the old and the new. You know, it talks about, you know, different things that gives us, like Jesus spoke in parables, in stories by way of illustration. He explained how things work. You know, a house divided won't stand. You know what I'm saying? So if you build on certain ground, you know, a house on certain ground, it won't stand when the storm comes.
That's right.
So it's different things that we have to do in order to become what we need to become. And so I'm just going to give us an opportunity to open up. How do you feel about, like you shared with us about what happened to you and when you was in college and everything with your relationship and stuff like that. But on the positive side of going to college, what did you get out of going to college that if somebody else was going to school, or if they felt like it's not for me or whatever else, what would you say to them? What did you get out of going to college that was positive for you?
It's a pretty good question. There are some classes that I liked, and there are some classes that I wasn't really into. The one thing I could say is like to find out what you're passionate about, and then try to find a program that closely matches your passion. That's the one fail-proof way that you could go at it. But when I was in college, I was kind of bouncing around different classes. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but thankfully I somehow just came out with a business degree. And but there are sometimes, the funny thing is, like when I took an accounting class, I was really confused. I was really struggling. But then some odd years later, I'm now better at working those numbers. So if you're struggling, just know that it's a process also. And yeah, just keep following your heart and find out which classes you enjoy more, and take note of what you're enjoying more, and see if you can get more of that which you may enjoy. So
that's good, man, and that's true. That's so true. And we're going to be talking to Martez in just a moment, Martez. But I just want to make this point. If you have a passion for something, then that's what you should go into. Because if you don't have a passion, just God gave all of us gifts.
That's right.
You know, Sincere got a gift to rap. He got a gift to put poetry in a story, and he talks it out in rhythm, and that's what rap is. A lot of people think rap is the devil and this, that, and that. No, it's talking just like anybody else talk. It's just what you're saying.
That's right.
It's what you're saying that could be offensive or whatever, but not because it's you saying things that's rhyming and different things like that. So if you have a passion for something, that's what God, pastors, prophets, apostles, teachers, every in the fivefold ministry, everybody that's gifted with those gifts have a passion for it. As the minister will attest, you cannot do a work. You cannot do a work if you don't have a passion to do it. You won't be successful, because it will become a duty, and you won't be working out of love.
That's right.
You'll be working and coming to work in the attitude. That's why some people don't like their jobs. Come being fussing all the time. But we're going to talk to Martez. Martez, how do you give us something positive, man, that you feel about your life that you can share with somebody else? Something positive, man, about your life. Whether now, it could have been the past, present, you know, but just share something with us.
I mean, the positive things that I've been doing in the past, it's been kind of okay. Like I had to help somebody like get out of jail. It was one of my crazy friends. Like this guy he was just getting himself in some trouble, and he helped me out with a carpet job, and he got himself into some trouble. I forgot what it was because it was like a few years ago, but I had to use the money. No, I remember. He was driving his girl's mom's vehicle, and he didn't have no license. So the police officer took him to the holding cell, and his bond was like $100. So I did a positive thing to help him get him out of jail. I had like $50 on me, and somebody else had the other 50. So when I see myself helping people that need to be helped, it makes me like feel good inside.
That's good. That's good, and it should, you know, because, you know, the Bible talks about us encouraging each other daily. And so that's a form of encouragement, and this is something that God wants us to do, to help each other and to love on each other. So that's good, man. That's a good point that you made about a positive side of your life, man. We're going to keep flowing on with this discussion. So I want to ask you, man, like, in your life, you know, I'm pretty sure that you've had a lot of experiences, you know, and so give us something positive, whether, like I asked Martez, whether it's past or presently, or if it's something you feel you want to do futuristically positive. Share something that we all can get some out whatever it is you got to say.
Well, I look at it like this, like everybody has a life experience. But you gotta realize everything you do is a change. There's a way of changing. And changing is good. Even for the bad, you gotta look at it positive. Without a negative, there's no positive. So it's gonna be downfalls. So you gotta look at searching yourself. You know, and seek. You gotta seek, like we said we studied. Seek. Seek God first. Then all things should be added to you. So you make Him first in your life, and you walk steadily. And think first. Think before you react on anything you do. Slow to speak, but eager to hear. And that way you can hold on to something. Hold on to yourself. Hold on to your people that's around you. Love on one another daily. I wake up every morning thanking God that I got to be able to do something for somebody else. That's why I'm here right now. So I can do something for somebody else. So we can build this and be able to do something for a whole lot of people instead of just one individual.
That's good. That's good. And that's what we need to do, man. We really need to inspire each other and help each other out. So that's real positive. And I got something out of that, definitely, because we all need to be encouraged. And as we was just talking about depression, men being depressed and men being, you know, going through real life issues. And, you know, a lot of men don't want nobody to know, hey, I cry, you know, whatever else, because, you know, it's like, oh, man, you cry? You know, yeah, God gave me tears, you know, like, emotions. So a lot of times people don't want to use or allow what God gave us to be expressed because of the way society sees issues with men. Right. Men shouldn't cry. Men shouldn't hurt. Men shouldn't go through things. You gotta suck it up. You gotta deal with it. You know, no. I'll cry in a minute. I'll cry, man, if something, I will let it out because things hurt us, and when you keep it in, resentment, anger, bitterness, and all that come into place. But we're going to keep going, and I'm going to give this gentleman an opportunity to share something with us about something positive in his life that has dealt with, past, present, or something futuristic that he has in his heart.
Well, first of all, I want to say that crying is such a release.
Yes.
And for years, I wouldn't cry. Wouldn't even cry at funerals. You know, lifestyle living, you wasn't supposed to cry.
Yeah.
But then, you know, at the end of the night when I was by myself, I cried. You know, see, I done let that build up, and see, and when it builds up, it manifests. And see, now, man, tears just run for no reason now. But I'm free though. You know, see, we don't realize the tension and the tightness, and then I'm holding anger and animosity up while I'm bottling all that stuff up. And then I would come out and I would act in different ways. But now that I can let that go, I feel, you know, it's a release, it's a freedom. And then not only am I letting the tears go, I'm letting go of the problem, whatever that was. I'm not holding that and letting it grow in me. But what on a positive note though, me and my brother, we're going around, we're finding cards like with people with our business, you know, black-owned businesses that mom and pop, and we're supporting them, and we're getting their cards together, so that once we get everything together, we can do a flyer, so that we can start supporting our neighborhood. You know, the money's going in the neighborhood, go in our neighborhood, and it leaves. And see, it's all about us backing each other up. And it's a young lady. She was going through. Her and her boyfriend, they separated. She got 2 daughters. She got sickle cell, and she works. He kept the house and let her move. She moved all the way over here on the east side. The baby got to go to school on the west side. So me and my wife adopted them, and me and my wife get that baby to school and get that baby back to help that mother. And it was all, that's God. I'm not saying I'm doing nothing, because it's all God, and I'm just thankful that he moving in there like that. And I just can't wait, man. I just want to hear this brother so bad. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. You know what? Because it is inspiring, man. You know, when you hear somebody, because you was younger before his age, I was too. And to see somebody, you know what you was involved in. You know what you was doing. And so, and the same thing with me. I was involved in different things, but I'll get back to that, because we're gonna let Sincere share a little bit about, you know, the positive side of his life. Sincere, what's positive in your life, man, that you can share with us, you know, that can help us all out today?
From coming where I was coming from the people that I was hanging around. I never had a dad in my life. I had an uncle, you know, that was around me, but he got killed on the north end, you know, where I was growing up. And even now, the friends that I got now, they still do the same thing. They still into the same thing. And they come up to me all the time like, man, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? You know, I had even family come up to me like, man, what happened? You know, what happened to you? I say, man, I just wanted to change. I want to be different. You know, I want to live above the influence that was going on around me. And still, like I said, still now, it still goes on around me. I can go home now, I probably got a house full, you know, and I still come out, go in my room, I pray, I shut the door, you know, like I said, it just dawned on me, you know, this just didn't happen over time. This was something that I've been wanting to do. I always had a love for music. My mama always manifested the word of God in me, but I always still seen the outside and wanted to, like, okay, it's not, you know, I didn't want to be lame. That was the thing. Like, I thought it was, you know, lame to love God or just do the right thing. And then one day I just said, you know what? I stood in my room and I'm like, man, it's not right. I don't want to smoke no more. I don't want to drink no more. This is not the lifestyle I want to live. So I never picked up another bottle of liquor. I never picked up another blunt. None of that. You know, this is the lifestyle I wanted to live. So to all the youth and the young people that look upon, it's okay to love God, and it's okay to just live above the influence and do what's right.
Yes,
man.
That's real. That's real, man. And that's something to give us all hope in all ages, that whatever it is that has us, you know, in God and with God. And I believe a big part of that you mentioned about your mother was prayer.
Yeah.
Prayer. Prayer, communication with God. God can do things. He can do things in whatever he wants to do, but God wants us to interact with him. He wants us to talk to. He said, you have not because you ask not.
Come on.
And so your mother, I believe, prayed for you to have a change of heart. And so by her praying for you and everybody else, one day, God began to talk to you in your heart and began to let you see, because he did the same thing with me. He began to talk with me. Well, also, I'll add to that, and you might could attest to this too. When you come from a rough neighbor, I grew up on the west side of Detroit, Linwood, Dexter area, and it was rough over there.
Yeah.
You know, and so I was involved. I was selling drugs in the crack house when I was 11 years old. I've been shot twice. It's been so much that I saw and I experienced. So it was like when God was dealing with me, it was a fight. It was a fight because I respected him, but I wanted my way too.
Yeah, yeah.
And so God kind of had to say, hey, look, you're going to do it because I have this for you and this is the way it's going to be. You know, and I'm like, well, no, I'm going to do it when I get ready to.
Come on now.
And so he like, no, you going to do it now. And I'm like, no. And then he had to box me in, close me in, shut some stuff off, shut some people out of my life. And I was so stubborn, I didn't want to talk to him because I knew it was him doing it.
Yeah.
So now I'm mad. And I don't want to talk to him and this, that, and that, because God has shut me down. And so now I'm boxed in and I don't want to talk. So when you do things, when you resist God and he loves you and has a purpose and a plan for your life, he will allow some things to take place, and he know how to get you to call out.
Yes.
He know how to get you to call out. And I was boxed in, and I was going through so much heartache and different things. I had done some stuff wrong. I was in trouble. I was afraid. And I said, God help me. I said, I'm sorry. I said, I'm sorry. And I knew he had pulled back and let all this stuff happen to me. So I told him I was sorry. And then he began to gradually open things up and move in my life. And so today, you know, me being here is so amazing because I was really like, this was not my type of thing. You know, I was stealing, selling drugs, I was a womanizer, you know, all of these things I was doing that was against people and against God. And now I can come and be a part of something to where I don't do these things no more. I don't want to hurt nobody.
Yeah.
I don't want to go off, and every woman that shows me attention, you know, a lot of times, and I'm pretty sure all of us as men can share, you know, when you're dealing with the opposite sex and women, which is a heavy issue today.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because the flesh, everything is, you know, hey,
it's
you look
there.
good.
It's
You ain't
out.
even got to have a count with somebody nowadays. You can have an interaction with them without even having a conversation.
Yeah.
Because everything is what we see
Right.
and the appeal. So for a man, to a lot of women that I come into, and this must be God, because I wasn't even going this way, but a lot of times I've met women that have asked me to, hey, just, you know, be with me in this way, be with me in that way, or whatever else. And as a minister, I say, I can't do that. You know, and they nice looking women. You know what I'm saying? And nice looking women.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, Lord help me. You know,
Yeah.
but asking God for strength, because a lot of times we don't want to face the reality of temptation. It's real, even as a married man.
Yeah, and my brother, he's a witness. That's what you talking right into both our lives. You know what you saying, that because we was on the west side, about Finkel, Wyoming.
Yeah.
But everything you were saying, we went through, and then the woman thing, that was my biggest problem. And it's just like that. So it's a magnet. You know, sometimes the women come at me because of that old, but I'm not like that no more.
Right.
And see, so just like you say, you know, you got to let them know, but it's a real aggression now.
Oh,
see,
yeah.
So that's why we got to be aggressive.
You got to be strong.
With God to hold us, because like how you said about the root, I found out, you know, just trying some things on my own, I thought I had it covered. I had to go get with God to get down in the root. I had just popped the head off the dandelion.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? On my own, thinking I'd done something, but I couldn't get in the dirt till I got with him really helped me with that thing because it was a problem.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up.
That's why I could relate to him just as well when he said, you know, about going through stuff in there. We on the west side. I got in trouble. They said I was a minister to society. But I went and got in there and found everything. I was art welder, electricity, plumbing, carpentry. I already got my GED and everything. And I had a long time. They let me out, said I was rehabilitated.
But they said that he couldn't learn.
I couldn't learn in
He
school.
had a learning disability. He couldn't learn. They had wrote him off. But when he went and applied himself, he got all kind of degrees.
That's good.
Got me
Hidden talent.
Yeah.
Hidden talent that never get exposed because it's like when something is enclosed and you know you let the top off of, you never know what can come out. T.D. Jakes once said, he said, I didn't know I had all these books in me. I didn't know I had this ministry in me until you get put on that platform, and then that's when everything come out. But before, we got a few minutes, and but I wanna ask you so you can interact a little bit more with us, man. We don't want to leave you out. You know, how was it, real quickly? Where did you grow up? What city did you grow up in?
Yeah, so I grew up in at first I grew up in Cass Corridor, Detroit, and then as I grew older, my mom kind of moved me around. There were some difficulties. My dad had passed at 9, and I kind of had some troubles in school also. So my mom kind of moved me around, and but then eventually when things went to high school, I was fortunate enough to have my mom moved me to Dearborn, and I was able to finish my degree. But in 9th grade, things were very shaky, especially with a gym teacher. It seems like he was determined to see me fail. He would just come up with any reason to give me an E. And even though my gym clothes were stolen, I would still get written off for that. And but miraculously, I was able to transfer to a different school, and I started off fresh. I just was on a new mindset that I was just going to be low profile and just focus on my studies. And eventually, the grades were much better, and I was able to finish. And even though my 9th grade years had kind of straddled along, I made up those credits with night school and summer school. I just went between classes, and the GED, or actually a high school diploma, that I was able to get it a couple months behind, but I made it.
That's good. That's good, man, and that's really good. Something to inspire us all. You know, before we close, I just would like to say that for myself, you know, I dropped out of school when I was in the 6th grade. I was in a crack house selling crack, seeing more money than I ever saw in my life, because I was selling drugs for this crack dealer, and that house probably was bringing in at least $30,000 a day in sales. And so I'm seeing all of this money and things like that. I didn't want to go to school. What I'm going to go to school for? You know, I don't need school. You know, I didn't like school. If I did go, I was going to show off, or, you know, the girls, you know, whatever. I didn't go to sit down and learn. I didn't even think I could learn because I couldn't read. I didn't know math or nothing like that. So it's good. Schooling is important, man. And we need schooling because, thank God, I'll share it another time, but I did get my diploma.
All right.
God had to box me in. I boxed me in, and I sat down and got it. But I thank God for all of us being here today, man.
Amen.
And it's just amazing how God can bring people together and help, so we can help each other and inspire each other.
And this was very inspirational.
Yes,
very inspirational.
Yeah, so we're going to, if you want to get in contact with Mega Men's 100 Club, you can call this number, 248-701-0885. Again, that's 248 701-0885. If you want to be a part of Mega Man 100 Club, or if you want to participate with us, give us a call at 248-701-0885. And we just would like to thank everybody for being a part of this today. And we hope that you tune in and listen with us soon. Talk to you later.
God bless you all.
Bless.
Take care. God bless. No rehearsal, nothing.